you ever had one of those moments inside your client sessions when you're like, I really know what to say here to my clients, and then you kind of blank a little bit, maybe freak out internally. And so what do you do in those situations? So I actually am going to share you three things that we do in our advanced conversational hypnosis sessions that are actually part of the method, I would say. But it really, really helps you to get out of your head and really start being present with your client and stop that freak out moment of going, oh my God, I don't know what to say. And this comes with like just with anything. Either they say something to you and you don't know what to do with it, or they say something that is very emotionally heavy and you just don't know what to do. These are three things, three ACH hacks, I would say, to help you, and it works every time. So the first one is pause, take a deep breath, and a smile at your clients. And I know this is really simple. And sometimes when you're in your hypnosis session, you're kind of like it feels like time is playing weird tricks on you, right? So something that may feel that is very quick may feel very drawn out and long, especially when you're in a hypnosis session. There's a weird time warp that goes on. So if you actually just take a moment to pause, breathe, and just smile, that took what, 2 seconds? 2 seconds is nothing, for you to start grounding into yourself again, start grounding into your body so that you can gather yourself. And instead of that voice going, and freaking out and going, you can then breathe and allow yourself to get into your body, tune into your body, aka your subconscious, to help you with what to do next. This is very helpful. And if you smile, you're just smiling to your clients. They're not really going to notice that you're freaking out. Well, unless you don't breathe and you keep freaking out, then they'll know that unconsciously. When you breathe and slow down yourself, it also helps your client mirror that behavior. So two win-wins here with something simple as stopping and breathing. And we all need this reminder sometimes as well, right? Um, and so another thing is, you're conversing with your client and maybe you have blanked out, you forgot what you were going to say, or you just don't know what to say. One get out of jail free card is just to ask them, so how you doing? Right? How you doing? How are you feeling? And just check back in on them, because it helps you to ground that session as well, and it helps you to refocus and determine and know where you're at. So when you're at, this is another one that's like a double win. Not only are like when you blank out, you are now giving the ball back to your client and asking them how they're feeling, how are you doing. um it also shows you exactly where they're at, within that transformation, within that session, because it obviously it's your sessions are client led, right? So when you're able to do that, you're also able to kind of just pause and regroup yourself and your client, and kind of know where they're at, how far along you are, within that transformation. And it helps you to have a new place to start, especially if you don't know what to do. So, if they said something really like emotional, and you don't know what to do with it, and you stop, you breathe, and you say, how are you doing? It helps them to fill in the blank, and it helps them to go more internally. And another win, the more internal they are, the deeper they go into that trance as well. So, I mean, there's three wins there for just one simple question, right? So that is number two. Number three is just to stay silent, right? And this is like so uncomfortable for everyone, especially for people who are new to conversational hypnosis, because silence is something that we use. Like it is our superpower. There you go. You're welcome. That is a superpower because there's a lot to be said in the silent moments. And, kind of like think about it this way. You're having a conversation with someone and then they just stop talking. What do? You pay attention, right? You pay more attention. Like they pause and you're like, okay, what's going on? And then you become internal. You start thinking. And by utilizing that same principle, when you ask when you ask your client a question, like let's go through this three steps. You don't know what to do. You stop, you breathe, you smile, then you ask, how are you doing? And then you stay silent, even though they might not know what to say. Just that silence is going to give your clients the pressure that they need to start thinking again and to start being more internal, which is in hypnosis what you really want them to do. You want your clients to be fully internal so that they can answer your questions and they can solve their own problem, right? So these three things are really, really useful. Again, to summarize the three first, to give yourself a break, stop, breathe, and just smile at your clients, making that eye contact and just smiling. And number two, asking them where they're at, how you doing, how you feeling, what's going on. And number three, stay silent. You can do it in that order. You can do it in any order. You can do all three at once. You can just stay like silent the whole time. You can just smile and breathe the whole time. You can just, continuously ask clients how they're feeling every few minutes, because that is really what helps you become present with your client and just imagine that being a client, right? You're actually giving them the space, and that space is exactly what they need to become internal in order for them to solve their own problems, because it's not up to you as a coach or hypnotist to solve their client's problem. It is up to them. And these three principles are core advanced conversational hypnosis principles, but are easily usable for pretty much any conversation you have. And so I hope these three tips help. If you have any questions, let me know below. Otherwise, I will see you soon.